Hello, educators, social workers, and youth workers. Welcome to today's session on the application Remind. If you've ever used this application before, you're aware that this application used to be called Remind 101. So if you have used it before and it is on your phone or your computer, please be aware of that update that now in the App Store, this application is called Remind. Remind is a really great application. It is very useful and helpful in helping teachers and administrators, youth workers, social workers communicate with their students and clients. It's a one-way application that can be used via computer or cell phone to communicate information that you might need. So some things you might communicate could be your homework assignment is due tomorrow. Don't forget to come to the big program that we're having. Remember to invite your parents to parent night. Those are just a few examples of how you can use the application. Now the application is used to protect the personal information of the adult who's sending it. So to prevent us from having to exchange email, phone numbers, and other information like that, we use this one-way application to deliver messages to the students or parents as well. So anyone who's signed up on the application and has an account can use the application to receive messages. And today, basically what we're going to focus on is the teacher part. So if you're an adult or a social worker who needs to send information to your students, we will go through how to use the application. So some things that we're going to talk about today are how to download the application, how to sign up on the website, and we'll go through a few examples of how to use the application to get the information to your students. All right, let's get started. The device that we're going to use today is an iPad. The Remind application can be downloaded from the App Store in the iPad, and it's also available in the Android store. So either one of those works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look for the Remind application in the App Store. Choose the one that comes up that says Remind, the Safe Classroom Communication. There are a couple of options available that do say Remind 101 because that's what it used to be called. So if you're still using Remind 101, please go ahead and update it and use the Remind Safe Classroom Communication. So go ahead and click on that one and we're going to download it. Once the application is downloaded, go ahead and press open. One thing to note before we open it is that if you're using the Remind application from your computer or from the website is remind101.com. So let's go ahead and open it from here. And it's going to take you through a quick setup. So we don't have an account yet, so we're going to go ahead and create an account. And we're doing this from the perspective of a teacher, since we are the social workers, teachers, educators, that we are going to be the ones distributing the information to the students. So you're going to go ahead and click the teacher option and just kind of go through the options to sign up. And so you'll enter your name. This allows, of course, for the receivers to know who the information is coming from. Enter your email address in there. You'll create a password. And when you've completed the process, just press sign. So as soon as this is completed, it's going to take you to the part where you're going to add the options that you need for your class. So you'll be given the option to create your class name. So for example, if you're holding a STEM class, science, technology, engineering, and math, and you have a number of students who are in this class that need to receive information from you, you will call your first class a STEM class. You will receive options to add additional classes. So if you're a teacher and you have first period STEM, second period STEM, third period, then you can label those classes and you can add additional classes as you go along. Right here, where you see these three bars, is where you will be able to add the additional classes. So it'll tell you where you have My Classes, it'll tell you Subscribe Classes, and if you want to add classes, you'll press the plus button right here. So you'll add a class. So if you have a group called the STEM class, but maybe you're also teaching basketball after school. So you can create a basketball class. So you'll see right here where it created the basketball class, and you also have the STEM class. You see here that there are no messages, so you haven't sent out any messages, but you can invite people to be a part of your class. And so that's where this is going to happen right here. So you're going to send an invitation email. So to create the class and the people who are going to be in your class and that you're going to send the messages to, you're going to press the invite option right here. Let's choose that we're going to invite from your contacts. So from here you can enter an email or a mobile number. So we can enter an email address to send an invite to. So it tells you that the invite has been sent. And so what happens now is you can start to send messages to those in the contact. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to send a message to your class. So you'll see at the top we have the STEM class that is selected right here. And so below down here is where you're going to type your message. So let's say we want to tell the STEM class that the meeting is on, to remember the meeting on Thursday at 4 p.m. It can be very simple. So remember, meeting on Friday, let's say Thursday. I think I said Thursday. At 4 p.m. And so you're going to press return. You're going to send this message to them. And everyone who is subscribed to the STEM class is going to receive that message on their phone, on their tablet, or wherever they are using this application from. They will receive a push notification on their phone to say, remember, we have a meeting on Thursday at 4 p.m. So for us, it's asking us if we want to get updates. I want our students and parents engaged with our messages. Yes, I think that's helpful to me, so that way I can determine or kind of keep track of who got the message, who is still using the application. So that is helpful to me. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the push notifications. So this gives you a record of, remember, your meeting is on Thursday at 4 p.m. So let's say you also need to send a message to your basketball students. So the basketball class, you'll select basketball right here. And then we're going to go ahead and send a message to the basketball team, and you'll see here that you do have basketball selected. So basketball team, I want them to remember we are wearing our red jerseys. Let's see, let's just say wear red jerseys tomorrow. You go ahead and send that to them. So now you'll have a record, you'll keep a record right here of all the messages that are sent. You will be able to see that you sent the message to your basketball team to wear red jerseys tomorrow. Now the advantage of this application is that students can sign up to receive these messages on their phone. Parents can sign up to receive the messages too. So if you have parents who are signed up to receive the messages, they will also get wear red jerseys tomorrow. Now you see a typo on there. I did make a mistake right there. Autocorrect, good old job. But that should be to wear, W-E-R-E, red jerseys tomorrow. Now you'll see you'll see at the top up here that basketball has a code. So whenever you instruct people to sign up for your application, you will give them this code right here. And so the code directs them to the basketball option of classroom that you have created. So whenever you're asking them again, whenever you're sending them an invitation, they will get the code and they'll be able to sign up directly to get your updates from the classes that you have created here. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what the parent or the student side of the application would look like whenever they're signing up to receive your class messages, this is what we're looking at right here. So we had the STEM class that everyone had signed up for, and then if we wanted them to enter the basketball class, you notice that right underneath basketball there was a code. It was 361D1E. So assuming that your student or your parent have already signed up for the Remind application, and they're just adding a class, what they would do is go to the enter class code option, and they would enter the class code for the basketball class that we had demonstrated in the previous screen. So they're going to open, or they're going to enter the class code, and then they're going to press join. And so you will see that it tells you you've successfully joined basketball. So now we're going to go back to where we receive the messages. And so they have the basketball class and they have the STEM class. So you will see that since they just now joined the basketball, they haven't received any messages yet. So we can send them a message reminding them to wear their red jerseys tomorrow. And this time, we're going to spell wear correctly. So wear red jerseys tomorrow. So you'll see that as soon as we send the message, they get it almost instantaneously. So it's just as fast as sending a text message, basically. So you will see that they received the basketball message from Miss Balarin, wear red jerseys tomorrow. Now, keep in mind that this is a one-way application, so you cannot reply as if it is a text message. This works mainly in the way that you would receive a push notification from an application that you have. So when you receive news updates, when you receive sports updates or weather updates, you can't reply to those. And that's exactly how Remind works. It's only a one-way application. So in conclusion, some of the advantages of using the Remind application, again, are that it really keeps the personal information of the teacher or the social worker out of the hands of students or parents. It really helps to just be able to send a one-way message so that you ensure that these parents are getting the information that they need in regards to the class or the basketball team or the STEM class or whatever it is that you've created. It really keeps the adults, in terms of the social worker and the teachers, safe and protected. And if there's any other communication that needs to happen between parents and those social workers or teachers, those can be done through email or face-to-face communication or whatever works best for them. But there are many advantages to using the Remind application. Some things that are listed as disadvantages for a Remind application are that it's only a one-way communication, but I really think that is, that's it. I think that that's an advantage too. And one of the disadvantages really is it just depends on who signed up for your application. So if you're, serving students who may not have access to a phone or to a tablet or a computer, or maybe their parents don't either, that could pose a disadvantage. But for the most part, it is an advantage for those who can receive those messages. And if they don't have access to any of these types of devices, then we'll have to be more creative about how to communicate with our parents and families and students. So that's all I have for you today for the Remind 101. I encourage you to use it, to play with it, to test it out and see what kind of messages you can send to your classes and those that you work with. It is very helpful to be able to send out quick push notifications, as I would refer to it, and get those messages out to your students and your parents. I hope you enjoy it. I encourage you to use it, and thanks for joining me today.